Did this influencer use her looks to rob a bank? Is FaZe Clan getting banned over some tweets? And is this rapper turned wannabe lawyer gonna help YNW Melly walk after a double murder trial? All this and more, but first, so much Andrew Tate news, including a possible legal victory in Romania. Let's get right into the update. In a previous video, we mentioned a few things. 1. Andrew Tate was released from his hold by Romanian authorities. 2. He has remained under house arrest. And 3. Some of Andrew Tate's accusers in the UK put together a GoFundMe to go fund their lawsuit against him. Well, we got a development. Andrew Tate received a letter. Now, this is not an official court document, nor is Tate being formally charged with this letter. The criminal charges in UK had already been dropped, and this is a civil case. What this letter is more like the legal counsel of the accusers reaching out to see if Tate will come to the table to work things out, or they will sue. So they sent this letter out with the hopes of reaching a settlement before things get ugly. To be fair, things have been ugly for a minute. Not letting Andrew Tate shave his head in custody should have been considered cruel and unusual. Ooh. Now, Andrew Tate denies all these allegations. However, the accuser's lawyer had this to say about it. Talk of the Matrix and false flags hold no weight in court. The survivors look forward to seeing him there. Listen, as a lawyer, I understand the power of a good zinger. And yes, the language Tate uses here is very funny. The Matrix is out to get me sounds like something you'd hear Kanye say to Alex Jones on the Joe Rogan Experience. However, if by Matrix he means false reality, and if by false reality he means false accusations, well, false accusations is a defense that can hold up in court. So if I was their lawyer, I wouldn't be so quick to be smug. Easier said than done. Mike? Oh, sorry. We do have a bombshell development about a possible win for Tate's legal drama in Romania, but before we get into that, speaking of attractive influencer types.
Oh, God.
A model influencer goes on a Bonnie and Clyde style bank heist? Yeah, she didn't need a weapon. She has the deadliest weapon of them all, confidence. Oh, what's that? They were armed? Oh, jeez. Oh, so this is what happened. Karina Gomez and her boyfriend committed a series of crimes, all with the same scheme. The boyfriend would hold someone at gunpoint and make them withdraw cash out of the ATM, while she would stand lookout as to not arouse suspicion. And if you ask me, suspicion isn't the only thing that's arousing.
She's a criminal.
I can fix her. The two have been apprehended and arrested, and 4 of their accomplices are currently being tracked as we speak. If you need a lawyer.
Mike!
I'm kidding. I'm married to Lady Justice. So FaZe Clan's Nickmercs is getting canceled over some tweets? What's going on? If you're not familiar, Nickmercs is a popular YouTuber and streamer associated with the FaZe Clan. Well, last week, Nick posted this tweet targeting the LGBT community. Now, this response has fans divided, but it's also caused some tension with Activision, the developers of Call of Duty. They canceled him! Well, not so much him as his skin. His skin in the game. There was gonna be this Call of Duty Nickmercs skin. You guys get it.
Puts the lotion on its skin.
No, not like that. The skin was set to release in Call of Duty Warzone and Modern Warfare 2, but was pulled because of the tweets. But this had the opposite effect Activision had in mind, because instead of canceling Nick, fans are canceling COD. Fans have started to boycott Call of Duty, and other creators in the streaming community have requested that their skins be removed as well.
It puts the lotion on.
No, not like that. But can Activision even do that? If they had a contract with Nick, can they just go back on it over a few tweets? Maybe. That's if the contract had a morality clause. A morality clause is often used with celebrities and influencers working with larger companies that state that their public persona must match the company's values and ideals. You know how like Disney Channel actors can't just go on IG Live and talk about how much weed they've been smoking? Which, let's be honest, is probably a lot, because anyone involved in the making of this must have been high out of their mind. Now, Nick did take to Twitter and gave an apology, but in the wake of the controversy, has actually gained 50,000 followers. You know what this reminds me of? Bud Light. You guys remember the Bud Light controversy. Bud Light put Dylan Mulvaney on a can, and whether you're for or against it, just the insertion into the debate was enough to turn people off. And Bud Light went from the top to second most consumed beer in America. Modelo, anyone? Proponents say companies can sell whatever they want, but opponents say people have a right to buy whatever they want. Companies can flex their opinions and consumers can flex their buying power. What do you think about all this? Let us know in the comments. So Boosie Badazz wants to become a lawyer, but before he can even study for the bar, he might be put behind them. YNW Melly is a rapper currently on trial for double murder. Boosie Badazz went to one of his trial dates and was blown away by the court proceedings. So much so, in fact, that now he wants to become a lawyer so he can represent his peers in the hip-hop community. I've seen this before. You go to one double murder trial and suddenly you've always wanted to become a lawyer. While his pursuit is actually quite noble, becoming a lawyer does have some requirements. For one, you need to be on the right side of the law, and for Boosie, that's a little woozy. On June 14th, Boosie was taken into custody over alleged gun charges. These charges were eventually dropped. But immediately after leaving the courthouse, he gets arrested again for federal charges for a convicted felon possessing a firearm. And these weren't his only run-ins with the law. Now, I'm not saying people can't commit crimes early in life and then become a lawyer, but you do have to prove you have been successfully rehabilitated. And on that, the jury may still be out. Speaking of the jury still being out, let's get back to Andrew Tate. So we talked about the letter laying out the assault charges, which is civil, not criminal. Now let's get into the criminal. As we all know, Andrew Tate has been having his battle with the Romanian authorities for the past few months. Originally, the charges included trafficking. Romanian authorities allege that the campsites he was running with women that were working for him fit the bill for this type of charge. Well, Romanian authorities now want to raise the charge to trafficking in continued form. What's the difference? Trafficking would be the 6 women who came forward and accused Tate of this as individuals. Well, now a 7th woman has been added, and Romanian authorities have decided to make a case for trafficking in continued form, which is a more serious charge. Like, instead of being a few separate instances, now they're saying it was a whole operation. Sounds worse, right? Someone tell that to Andrew, because he's declared this as a huge win for his case. Tate claims that the only reason the charges have increased is because there is no evidence. His legal team has declared this a win, but I was struggling to find anything that supported that. Maybe it's a win because higher charges are more difficult to prove, but that's just pure speculation. I'm not on his legal team, so I have no idea what his strategy is or how this might be a win. I guess we'll have to find out, which may be soon, because just last week, the Romanian authorities officially filed this indictment against the Tate brothers. This marks the beginning of the trial of the century. Tate vs. Matrix. This is, however, coming off of the heels of his controversial BBC interview. BBC invited Tate on with a list of questions he agreed to, and then bam, they blindsided him with hardball questions he wasn't expecting. Which, hey, maybe that makes for good TV, but also some questionable practices. Tate's response to this has been pretty tame, claiming if anyone else wants a TV appearance, he only wants to get $50K and a box of chocolates. The $50K is for charity, and the box of chocolates is of course for him. Agree or disagree, you gotta respect the hustle.